All right, so bans this war, we have S99, Kingpin, and CGR. All right, so Boss Island, Apocalypse Boss, we've got Scorpion and Diablo. Arcus back there, we've got Chavez and Diablo. For Terrax there, Absman is going to nuke it, but you can also use any of the Mystic Subdue options. So Diablo, probably your top one, maybe even Dragon Man. Actually, Dragon Man would be great. Doom, Magneto, S99 has been Overseer, Spot. You've got Fury and even Scorpion, Cersei. You can go with Rintrah or Wiccan. You could also use Diablo or Chavez or Sorcerer Supreme. Korg. You've got Red Hulk and Omega Red, and Gore. You've got Diablo and Scorp. 1 through 3 on the way out. Penny, Gallon. Could probably get away with a Hulkling as well. Path 1, Omega Sentinel, Nimrod. You can use Hulkling or Gallon as well. And then for Hyperion, Wiccan and Rintrah would actually do pretty well. Path 2, Rintrah, you've got Ant-Man or Titania, and then Immortal Hulk. You can go with Titania as well, or you could slap on an Odin pre-fight and use Fury. And then Path 3, that Wiccan there, Archangel, should nuke down pretty easily, or you can use Human Torch. Four through 6 on the way out, Infamous Doom, Hulkling or Gallon. Icarus on the way in, Chavez or Diablo. Path 4, Fury, Mole Man, Shang-Chi. Path 5, for Sasquatch, you can go with Human Torch, you can go with Mr. Negative, you can go with Titania, and then for Nova, could go with either of the Magnetos, or you could use a Mystic Subdue option like Diablo or Chavez. And then Path 6, Annihilus, Mystic options like Sorcerer Supreme or Diablo, but use an invulnerability boost. And then for Mojo, you could use Titania and Human Torch. Just look out for that prowess. And then 7 through 9 on the way out, Hulkling, you have Chavez, you have Sorcerer Supreme, you have Diablo. And then on the way in, actually don't do Diablo, Poison Immune. And then on the way in, Wong, Apocalypse, and Doom, I've seen work there. Path 7, you could use Apocalypse for the whole thing, or you can use Doom for Mantis, and then for Juggernaut, Overseer. And then Path 8, Gallon, any of the Mystic Subdue options, so Chavez, Diablo. And then for Bishop, you have Infamous Doom, War Machine. Path 9, that's Spidey Supreme. I personally would recommend Ant-Man, or you can go in with Thing and avoid mediums. And then for Weapon X, Nimrod, Warlock, using Odin pre-fight if you need it. 1 through 3 in Section 2 on the way in, Quicksilver, Fury with Dex off or Gallon. Fury on 23, you can use Apocalypse, Omega Red, and then Absman, Human Torch, or Apocalypse even works there. 1 through 3 on the way out, Valkyrie, Omega Red, probably your top option. You could also still probably use Apocalypse there. Path 1, Null, pretty much anyone. You can go with Omega Red or Apocalypse if you need to. Path 2 there, for Man-Thing, you have Titania and Ant-Man, and then for Kingpin, pretty much any mutant options like Apocalypse or Omega Red. And then Path 3, Scorpion, go ahead and go with a Poison Immune. And then for Nimrod, you can use Nebula, Gallon, or Hulkling. 4 through 6 on the way out, Tigra, Quicksilver, or Mr. Negative, or Doom with a White Magneto pre-fight. Path 4 there, Claire, Overseer, Rolk. Path 5 there, this is the second war in a row that I feel like Quicksilver can take that whole path, or you can use Mr. Negative for the whole path, or you could use Human Torch on one of them and either of those options on the other. Path 6, Nimrod or Omega Sentinel. 7 through 9 on the way out, Spam. You can use Rolk. You could also use Falcon still. And then path 7, Poison Immune for Immortal Abomination, so Nimrod, Warlock. And then for Atuma, you can use Omega Red or Kingpin. Path 8, Venom, any of your Mystic Subdue options, Chavez, Diablo, Sorcerer Supreme. And then path 9, for Void, you can use Shang-Chi, Rolk, and then for Domino, Omega Sentinel, Warlock, Nimrod. So that does it for defense. Let's take a look at attack. All right, so War 3, we have PBT. Pretty fun war for me, but also very nerve-wracking. Fun because I finally get to bring in Mr. Negative, Shang-Chi, and Human Torch. So after going all season last season without using Mr. Negative, I'm bringing him this war. I've got Path 5 in Section 1, Path 4 in Section 2, no mini bosses. So Path 5 here is all Mystics. Chavez and Tigra I'm taking with Mr. Negative. Maw with Human Torch. It's just a bit easier with Human Torch compared to Mr. Negative, although I've done it with Mr. Negative before. But this Chavez fight here, we are going to parry combo back out of our combo, not ending it. I'm going to parry combo 3 times. This one's just going to be a single hit. Then I'm going to parry to get a light energy evade counter. And in duels, Chavez has been throwing in duels everywhere. Chavez has been throwing heavies a lot more than normal. She did last season as well. I'm sure you guys saw my Titania timeout against her where all she did was throw heavies, but there, for example, nowhere near her, and she just throws a random heavy and then she does it again. So this makes it significantly harder compared to my past attempts of Mr. Negative versus Chavez on Path 5 with Ebb and Flow knockdown. So here the light energy, while we've been baiting out special attacks and building to special 3, is going to expire. It's fine. We don't want to rush this fight. So we need to let that second set expire, another random heavy if needed. So now it's getting kind of interesting here. I had to convert that light or that dex into light heavy there. The window is there, evade counter off a blocked hit. Missed the minigame, been doing that poorly lately. But we get enough charges here, land the big special 3, and down she goes. So got kind of interesting there against the wall, and Tigra is not going to be any different. So we place Human Torch Nova Flame here for Maw. I took this the first war of the season. It's going to be pretty simple. You just need to have your parries on point and pay attention when you actually stun. We don't have a White Magneto pre-fight here, so I don't have the luxury of seeing stun and kind of waiting to make sure that it's there. This Maw threw a lot of heavies, but with all the Mystic attacks into Human Torch's block, we're not going to have to worry about miss. We can pretty much spend this entire fight not knocking down if we don't want to, but we do want to get rid of Ebb and Flow knockdown when we can. Plus the extra heavy kind of takes care of if we have to bait a special and it takes forever for Maw to actually throw one and our temperature falls. Throwing that heavy against his special 1 helps bring that temperature back up so you don't have to worry about miss, but Maw goes down. Super easy. And then Tigra here, so similar game plan as Chavez. If you noticed, I had weakness on it. Was specifically for this fight. It's so that as we're building to the special 3, we actually increase our chance of not having to deal with unblockable specials from Tigra. But for her, the real worry here is whether or not she's going to throw a special attack. And then when. She likes to catch you off guard right in the middle of your dash back throwing one. So same thing here, single hit. There's our 8. We have 8 counter. Now we're going to build the special 3, not really worrying about building light until it's time. And there you go. I finished a combo. and she immediately threw the special 1. So we're at 2 light, keeping the prowess down here more than we were with Chavez. Chavez node didn't have aggressive prowess, so here we have to be very aggressive to keep these down in case we do end up eating another special attack. So getting kind of sketchy here. Tigra's not really wanting to throw this special 1. I can feel the wall coming. Luckily, she's not throwing heavy attacks, at least. That prowess is building up. She finally throws it. I'm against the wall here. Luckily, she does a full combo, and I'm able to parry her right after that full combo. That allows me to get the Fury and the Ebb and Flow knockdown off. And then I'm able to evade counter to convert my light, and then she ticks away. So, looked like it was going to go south, but we clutch it out. And then the rest of the war is Shang-Chi's. So for this thing fight, I actually moved masteries around so that I could have max pacify, and I don't normally have a point in assassin, so I put a point in there as well. My logic here was that I'm going to be sticking to the slow wushu and the stun wushu the entire fight. I'm not going to worry about the cleanse wushu because there aren't enough debuffs for thing to go unblockable as long as I don't get hit. My logic with maxing pacify was, while I have the stun wushu on him and I do plan on throwing the special 2 with the stun activated, I'm hoping that some of the special 2 gets through the protection. And then if not, at least some of my basic guaranteed crit hits do get through, or we just don't trigger protection while he's stunned. So despite us triggering protection a lot with our special 2, this is actually going pretty quick. We're at 50% and only 45 seconds into the fight. Triggering protection there. So here I'm going to go the stun after doing the cleanse, or after doing the slow. And as I said earlier, hopefully some of this gets through. And this is actually my first time replaying it. So far 2 special 2s and we didn't get through the protection. It could have to do with his increased defensive ability accuracy that I'm thinking of now from the node. So there's a chance that we actually never get through. And then thing goes down anyways at 1.5 minutes. So I used an invulnerability boost there. I was actually surprised that we still had some time on it as we get to Mr. Fantastic. So Mr. Fantastic is going to be the exact same game plan as Thing. We're going to focus on the slow and the stun, but we are actually going to throw the cleanse before we throw the special 2. That's just to prevent all the debuffs, both from any that we've built up from Mr. Fantastic throwing special 1, also from the careful study debuffs that we get from throwing a special 2 and then landing the special 2. So the logic here with going slow and stun the entire time is that as long as he's not evading, if he ends up going unblockable, I'm going to be able to stun him through block with the stun wushu, and then I can cleanse off the debuffs if needed. But if I don't need to, and then here for some reason I thought he was unblockable, so I kind of pause right there, and I realized I was. But if he did happen to go unblockable, we have that safety net. So that was the end of my war. Our battle group actually matched theirs with 3-3, and we barely won this war 12-10. So not a very good war for us. That's a lot higher than our usual average, but it was enough for us to win this war, so I'm pretty happy with that. So starting off the season 3-0, we're in a good place, good start, especially since the goal is just to finish Masters. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe, give it a like, and I will catch you guys at the next war.